Everglades Carlos here. So I originally paddled into this beautiful Florida spring just to explore and enjoy the water. But as I was moving through the crystal clear water, I started seeing bass. And I saw some really good ones, so of course I had to come back with my fishing gear.
Nosotros lo que hacíamos es que nos
The
veníamos un punto
challenge
grande,
was completely different from
conseguíamos un spot
fishing
así
the
como este y lo
Everglades.
instalábamos, ¿sabes?
The
Nos
water
quedamos aquí.
was clear, the fish could see everything, and my normal South Florida setup wasn't going to work. So I figured I'd downsize. I went with a smaller lure. I added fluorocarbon, loosened my drag so I
Párate
wouldn't
un
break
poquito más
off.
atrás, creo que vas a remar
And then I
mejor.
started breaking down the water, looking for current, deep cover, and where the bass were positioning themselves. Little by little, I figured out the pattern, and then I started catching fish. A lot of fish. That first day, I went with a buddy of mine. You can see him back there.
Hay un carajo ahí que
And
lo
I was
tenía
just
medio
throwing a
olvidado.
Senko around just to see if I could catch fish. This was the first fish I
Dije,
caught.
brother,
I was tickled. I mean, I couldn't believe it actually worked. I'm so used to fishing the one area that when I catch fish in other places,
marico, no lo puedo
it
creer, bro.
almost feels like a miracle.
Saqué uno.
So yeah, he was tiny, but he meant a lot. So that day, with my buddy, we went around. I was just throwing the Senko here and there, and I caught like 4 or 5 fish. It was fun, but I was just kind of exploring. So on day 2, which is what you're seeing now, I came ready to fish. I had my Senko, but I also brought Easy Swimmer, and because the water is so clear, I actually put a leader on it, which I don't use when I fish in the Everglades. And so I started catching little fish like this. I started getting bites, so I started feeling really confident and throwing it a lot. And I started figuring out, these fish want to hang out in areas where they can kind of be protected from the current. I did see some bass hanging in the middle of the current, and I did have some fish come up the middle of the creek and chase the lure. But for the most part, like if you go back on that last fish I caught, you'll see that he was kind of on the side. And then the next fish that I catch in this clip, he was also sitting like on a little area where he was protected from the current. So at the beginning of the spring, the water is really blue. When you get down here, it gets a little bit more of a tea color, but it's still amazing how clear it is. And because they don't spray up here, you can really see how beautiful the vegetation and the underwater vegetation is. I mean, this place is spectacular. If you come out here and you fish around and you don't catch a fish, you're gonna come home and you're gonna be cured. I mean, it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I was just happy to catch fish, and you can see what I'm doing. I take a few strokes, I throw around. I also had to make a shuttle at 3:30, so I wasn't taking my time as much as I wanted to. Because you definitely could have cast it 3 or 4 more times in there, in different areas. I think in this next cast, I get action again. This is all so fishable. The one thing is, though, there's a lot of areas where you've got overhanging trees. And so you've got overhanging trees, you're on a paddleboard, it makes it a little difficult to be accurate with your cast. But see right here to the right, there's no current in that little, he hit it right as it landed, and I missed him. I think I took it out of his mouth too soon. And so now, gotta get it ready so I can rethrow it in there. And she's gonna eat it. The current's going down kind of where that little channel is, where the nose of the board is pointing, and to the right there, it's more like an eddy where there's not a lot of current. He hits it right by the lily pad. Small one. But you can see that, you know, I mean, that's a 3-minute clip there, and I caught a couple fish, so yeah. And here's the beauty of fishing in here. I mean, check this out. This is a tiny little guy. He was hiding under that layoff there, but look, you can see him fighting all the way out there. It's so cool. See him underwater like that. I mean, I fish good water in the Everglades, but this is another level of clarity. Spectacular.
Come here, guy.
Now this right here, coming up, was the highlight of my trip. I mean, you can't ask for more. The fish was sitting on the left, under that little bush that you see there. She came, she ate it. And I mean, it felt like a heavy fish, but I really couldn't see it because of the reflection, and when she did that, I just couldn't believe it. That boil there will stay tattooed in my memory forever.
Please stay on.
This is such a beautiful scene, and you wouldn't believe it, but I mean, I couldn't be, I mean, I was so happy about this bass. I couldn't believe I caught a bass this big in there.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
And then the other cool thing was, you know, I have this fish grip, and I wanted to take a good picture, so I put the fish on the fish grip, and when I turned around, there was this otter staring at me. Unfortunately, I had turned off the camera for that, so I didn't get the otter on video, but I had a real cool moment there with the fish and the otter. Look at that thing, just absolutely spectacular. And look at the color of the water. You can really see it when you put the camera inside. Look at that. So pretty. These are some of my favorite parts. You can see the eelgrass under the board, just drifting. This fish hit like right under the board. Oh, so cool. And one of the cool things about this place is, you know, every so often there's some shallow area like this one, a sandbar, where you can just stop and get in the water. The water's 72 degrees, so you just cool off. I saw some bait fish here, so this was on the first day that we went there, so of course I had to investigate. This was one of the things that made me want to throw that red ear. Saw those panfish. You can see that spot there is absolutely spectacular. And on the rest of the video, you'll see, you know, there's a whole bunch of fish caught. I'm just gonna let it roll, and thank you for watching. Hope you liked my video. If you have any questions, shoot me a comment. I read them all. Tight lines. I promise I won't take so long between this video and the next one. Oh, because by the way, my next thing is I am going to do an overnight trip from the King's Landing all the way down to the St. John's. I'm gonna do an overnight trip. So, oh, check out this gator. This was really cool. Big guy too. You know, makes you think, you know, this thing, you'll see this gator was about 10 to 11 feet. I mean, this was a big gator. And when I got too close here, he disappeared. And I never saw him again, you know. So there could be a big gator around every corner here. That's why if you're gonna get in the water, it's better to do it in areas where you can really see the bottom. I'm not gung-ho about going in the water in places where I'm not sure. I can't see everything around me. Anyhow, thanks for watching my video, and like I said, my next video I'm gonna start posting because I have this overnight trip from the King's Landing to the St. John's, and so I'm gonna get ready for that and hopefully post a really cool video about a really cool trip. Tight lines, and thanks for watching.